Rachel Wade, born on February 27, 1990, was convicted of murder in the second degree in the high-profile murder of Sarah Ludemann. Rachel Wade and Sarah Ludemann were romantic rivals. The rivalry began after Wade's breakup with Joshua Camacho. Camacho began seeing Ludemann, much to Wade's dislike. In the first 6 months, Ludemann was with Josh. The police spoke to Ludemann 6 times regarding public confrontations with Camacho. She got into a verbal argument with the mother of Josh's child. Joshua punched Ludemann in the face, but Ludemann did not press charges. Wade left insulting voicemails for Ludemann. Their rivalry became more volatile. They began to harass one another, and, according to Wade, Sarah would show up to an Applebee's where Wade worked in order to taunt her. During one incident, Ludemann told police that Wade repeatedly called her cell phone and left threatening voicemails. Detectives admitted that Ludemann also made threats toward Wade. The rivalry would continue until Ludemann's death. Ludemann drove to where Wade was located and pulled Wade's hair. Wade's head was looking in the downward position, and Wade flailed her arm with a knife. Ludemann was stabbed, resulting in her death. On the evening of April 14, 2009, authorities say that Rachel Wade was alone in her apartment waiting for Joshua Camacho. Camacho was watching movies with Ludemann. While Wade was outside walking her dog, she heard a car honk and she stated that Ludemann yelled, "Stay away from my man!" Wade said that she was scared, and she decided to call an old boyfriend, Javier. He told her to come over to his house. She got her purse, opened a kitchen drawer, and pulled out a steak knife. At 11 p.m., Wade approached Camacho's house. He and Ludemann were inside playing video games. Wade sent Camacho a text message saying, "Now I know why you're not talking to me, because you got her." Camacho replied, "That's right. I don't like you no more. Why don't you go home?" Wade responded, "No, I'll wait for her to go home." Witnesses later testified that they overheard Wade threaten Ludemann on speakerphone, "I'm going to stab you and your Mexican boyfriend." Just before midnight, Camacho's sister asked Ludemann for a ride to McDonald's. Ludemann saw a friend at a stop sign who told her Wade was at Javier's house. Ludemann decided to confront her. As she was driving, Wade called her and yelled, "I'm going to kill you, you and your Mexican boyfriend." Ludemann arrived at Javier's house and saw Wade speaking with him and their friend, Dustin Grimes. Wade testified that Ludemann slammed on her brakes, nearly hitting Wade and storming out of the car with her fists flailing. Wade said that she was fearful when she stabbed Ludemann's shoulder and chest, striking her heart. However, authorities and the prosecution's witnesses said that Ludemann did not get a chance to leave the van, and that it was Wade who approached and attacked Ludemann. Ludemann, clutching her chest, called Camacho to tell him what happened. Camacho ran to Ludemann's home to tell her father. They both drove to the scene. Immediately after the stabbing, witnesses say that Wade threw the knife over a neighbor's house and calmly said, "I'm done." Police arrived and began questioning Wade and the witnesses. She began to cry when they told her Ludemann died. Hours later, Wade was arrested and charged with murder in the second degree. She was booked into the Pinellas County Jail on $500,000 bond. She stayed there through the conclusion of the trial. True TV's In Session and CNN's Headline News televised the trial, which began on July 20, 2010, with jury selection. Testimony began on the following day. Prosecutors brought up the history between the two in order to show that Wade intended to kill her rival over Joshua Camacho. The defense argued self-defense under the stand your ground law in which Florida encompasses. Wade's attorney, Jay Hebert, stated that Ludemann was very upset and that Wade was fearful because Ludemann was bigger and her friends outnumbered her. Hebert brought up the Applebee's incident in which Ludemann and her friends knocked Wade's tray over, sang Girl Fight during karaoke and taunted her. He also stated that the two girls fought before the stabbing and pulled each other's hair. The witnesses who testified for the prosecution were Joshua Camacho, his sister, and Dustin Grimes. Javier testified for the defense. Javier stated that the two fought, but admitted he did not see much of the incident. Camacho's sister and Mr. Grimes testified that Wade approached the vehicle and stabbed Ludemann. The jury heard the voicemails which Ludemann saved 8 months prior, in which Wade stated that she was going to kill her. This ultimately sealed her fate, as the jury took 3 hours to find her guilty of murder in the second degree. On September 3, 2010, Rachel Wade was sentenced to 27 years in state prison. The judge stated that he believed Wade intended to kill Sarah Ludemann. Wade maintains that she acted in self-defense and is currently appealing her case. She is housed at Lowell Correctional Institution Annex. In a March 2011 interview with ABC News, she believes that social media played a major part in the rivalry and murder. She states that it gives people the ability to say whatever they want with very little consequence. This case has been featured in Dateline NBC in February 2011, Deadly Women in November 2011, Facing Evil with Candy still on in December 2011, and on E! Entertainment Specials When Girls Kill. Charlie Ludemann, Sarah's father, has filed a civil suit against Rachel. On February 17, 2012, Wade lost her appeal, according to online docket.